Here we are then for another My Team Career Mode episode. This one is the Dutch Grand Prix at Zandvoort. Guys, if you're going to enjoy the video, like and subscribe. Let's get into it. Before that though, the previous round at Belgium, spoiler warning ahead. Go check it out, link in the top right. A sprint weekend, so 2 races, a lot of points, a lot happened, so go watch it if you haven't done so already. But yeah, we're going to get into this one and we're going to go through quite a few updates in the start of this episode. Starting off with a season break, which is pretty good. I don't mind that. Gives us a bit of a breather. As you can see, we also took care of activities, focusing on Liam Lawson on the second driver external training and also driver promotion filming. So we go into the break with a turbo reliability upgrade confirmed on the car. We also are going to add to that by doing aero work on drag reduction. Also, we're going to go to the engine and go to fuel efficiency, which has a 20% discount on the ECU, which is going to be a pretty big haircut on the price. Now, then we get to the season break, so that's kind of our work done, and we don't really have a lot of money or points to spend right now. Level 14, by the way, Acclaim, 1 level away from unlocking a 3rd additional sponsor for the team. And then you can see we return from the summer break with a supplier upgrade from Red Bull Powertrains, which is also a very welcome addition. Now, here we go, Zandvoort this weekend. We start off with breaking news. Next season, reg change, which already is going to provide a massive opportunity to try and shake things up and potentially take a step forward into the top half of the midfield next season. So we'll bear that in mind, and also fingers crossed if we get some backing from a big sponsor or a big corporation, that would also help us a long way in terms of improving the way things run. So forecast, a possibility of rain in qualifying, but the key thing here is the performance chart. So we are once again at the bottom and a gap is starting to appear to Alfa Romeo. Now, as you can see, here are the season results so far. 1 DNF in our home race in Silverstone, which didn't go according to plan. It was a bit of a shame. We had such a good weekend and was going to finish in 4th place, but then it says PAT, but we actually did crash out in DNF with, I believe, 2 laps to go. So yeah, besides that, it's been a pretty flawless season. The big surprise is reliability. We've got failures turned on all season and we've not had a single issue so far. So that is a very welcome surprise and something I was not expecting. So for you guys who are doing a career mode, if you want to avoid reliability issues, then check out Red Bull Powertrains, because clearly they seem to be pretty reliable. Anyway, practice done and dusted. P4 for us in FP2 on the soft hull, which is a pretty good sign. Although to be fair, the softs may be showing or making us look a bit better than what we really are. Either way, good signs. We also picked up our usual points tally, points haul for practice, so a pretty smooth session, all things considered. There was a little bit of rain, but it didn't disrupt anything for us, so a very straightforward weekend so far. And like I said, our focus now has to turn to next season, because I think we are likely to get 5th in the Constructors. I think we need to do a little bit more work, maybe 1 or 2 more races, but we can turn our focus to next season, hopefully pretty early. We'll go for the standings at the end of the episode as always, guys, and I'll also show them at the start of every episode. So in the next one, I'll show the standings in full. But yeah, right now we have about a 60-point lead over Aston Martin. So if we can hold on to that over the last 6 races, that could be massive. So into qualifying, sunny skies here at Zandvoort, looking to hopefully have a nice smooth session here. Qualifying, I would say, has actually been my strong point this weekend and just generally this season. We've been better in qualifying than in the race, which is quite rare for me, but the 1 lap pace has been good with this car, so we're going to see what happens this weekend. Across the line, P6, 1 minute 9.1, which I can't quite tell if that's good or bad, but eventually back to the pits, P12. That does say it could be a bit dangerous. We're currently safe by 2/10 over Ocon in P17, so we're going to have to go out again. Now, what I have done, I feel like there was a bit of time to find, so I'm actually going back out on the exact same tyres. So this is a used set. I'm not using or burning up a fresh set of tyres, so hopefully it doesn't backfire. The engine we're also kicking in a little bit, so we're going to have to bear that in mind. But anyway, here we go, currently on our first push lap here on these tyres. Of course, we've done one before, but this is now going to be our first proper push lap, because I've kind of got a feeling of where the limit is on the track now, so I can really start to push and find some lap time. So far, in the first sector, it's about even. Didn't really find that much time. To be fair, we did a pretty good job last time. It felt pretty good. The time is in sector 2, and it's through the next right-hander. You'll see now I had a bit of a slight moment onto the grass. I just quickly clipped the left front in the grass here, and you'll see here we just gained a chunk of time. So that gives us a tenth or so, making our way through this section onto the back straight, losing a little bit of time through the left. Didn't really get the line right, so we actually lose a big chunk of that. And also in the top left now, we are P17 and out of qualifying, so suddenly this lap has become important because we need to get through. We're P19 right now, so everyone has found time, so suddenly we are now up against it as we have to deliver this lap. Up to the line we go. It's going to be about 2 tenths quicker. Is it going to be enough to get us into Q2? Yes, just in P16 by the skin of our teeth. To be fair, a tenth to Albon in the end, so we got through with a fine margin, but still on the bubble in P16. So that was a really close one. Had to take a deep breath there. That was a much closer session than I would have hoped for. To be fair, a sign that maybe the pace isn't as good this weekend. We seem to be a bit up against it. There was on a used set, but they weren't super warm, only about 4% when I started the lap. So this is going to be the true test. So fresh tyres on our car. This will give us a true indication of our pace. So we done, I believe, 1 minute 9 mid before. Across the line we go, and it's a 1 minute 8.6. I think we've done a 1 minute 9.0 or 1 minute 8.9 before, so that was about 3 tenths quicker. And you can see right now we are P10, so we're on the bubble yet again, on the brink of elimination. But the gap this time is about 1.5 tenths to Ricciardo and then more than 2 tenths to everyone else behind. Now, as soon as we got on track with a minute or so to go, you can see the skies have gone really grey, and I'm going to get a weather forecast check because I think the rain might be on the way.
Dries definitely seem like the fastest tyre at the moment.
And literally, I just coasted. The rain started to fall straight away, and you can see, even on that same outlap, it started to fall really heavily. And some cars have started their laps, but the rain is coming down at a very fast rate, to the point where actually we're going to have spray kicking off our tyres. So pretty much I boxed, I didn't go. No one else improved. The rain just made its presence felt straight away right at the end of Q2. So we get away with not having to do another lap. That was a fresh set of tyres, but again, I just basically coasted the car around very slowly and tried not to push it too much. So we saved those tyres. Overall, happy. I think pace-wise, there wasn't a ton of time left in it. So I think it was a low-key blessing in disguise. I don't know if I would have got into Q3 with that, rain not happening. So into Q3 then, rain fully, here to stay. So we're on the intermediates, and our first time lap is a 1 minute 17.3, but only a tenth and a half off Piastri in P6. And if you look at the gaps, the field spread's very tight. I mean, P5 is right there. So we'll go again, fresh set of tyres, a last run of the session, and we are going to try to see if we can try and get something out of this, because obviously they are going to improve. The track has dried, the rain has now actually, or is about to stop, give or take. It's very close, I asked on the weather forecast, so let's see what happens. Down to turn 1 then, braking at just before the 50 in the wet. You have to brake a little bit earlier. Important to try and get a good exit here, and you can see we're finding time straight away through the little right kink and then into the banker. Try to get the cut and the nose in tight and then get the drive on the exit, which is going to really help you. I don't really do it that well. I lost quite a bit on the exit as Leclerc sets the new benchmark. Making our way across the Sector 1 split, currently up by half a second on Russell, but of course cars are improving, so that lap time may not be realistic. As you can see, Piastri now P1, so everyone's finding time, everyone getting quicker, and the track is getting faster by the second. So making our way through the midway now point of the lap, you can see we're trying to find time, and so far it's a little bit wide through that left-hander. We're not really finding the time that I was hoping for. It's not been a terrible lap, but I just don't seem to have the grip outright. Making our way into Sector 3, currently a tenth and a half down on Norris in P6. We need a little bit more time than this to really do some damage, so we need to send it in the final sector, especially this corner right here, which we actually do a really good job of getting the power down super early. And you can see we're going to find a big chunk of time, although we wash out a bit wide through the banking and lose a bit of time. And I've got mixed feelings about that lap, and it's P9, which I kind of expected. So we just pip Alonso to 9th, but besides that, a 10th off Sainz, who was the next car, so quite a big gap. Besides that, though, I think pace-wise, it seems to be the story of our season. We get into Q3, and then in Q3, the kind of reality of the pace kind of shows through, and we're not as competitive. So, yeah, either way, the big one is Russell and Verstappen tied. Exact same lap time to the 1,000th. So Russell gets pole. I'm assuming he set the lap time first and just edges Verstappen in Verstappen's home race. So a big one there on the front row. Pace-wise, I reckon I could have maybe got P7. That would have been the absolute maximum, but it is what it is. Guys, that's it for qualifying. Let's get to the race and let's see if we can try and hopefully bag some more points.
Welcome along then to the North Sea coast and to the Zandvoort circuit. We're 25 miles away from Amsterdam for today's Dutch Grand Prix. It's a race the great Jim Clark won on 4 occasions, leading for an astonishing total of 370 laps. Zandvoort circuit has 14 corners, 10 to the right and 4 to the left, with plenty of steep camber and elevation changes to keep our drivers on their toes throughout the 2.6 mile lap. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. What a qualifying yesterday for George Russell. He'll start today's race from pole position, edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Perez, Hamilton, Oscar Piastri, Norris, Leclerc, Sainz, Martinez, Fernando Alonso, Ricciardo, Tsunoda, Bottas, Joe, Ocon, Hulkenberg, Albon, Gasly, Magnussen, Sargent, Stroll and Liam Lawson. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway. And joining me again for the race today, Natalie Pinkham. Now, can I get your take on Max Verstappen? That was a great win in the last race, but can they keep that momentum going into this weekend?
Well, there are never any guarantees in this business, but certainly the performance last time out will have boosted their confidence coming into this race.
Here we go then, at Zandvoort. Another race, and after the season break, we are now looking to hopefully close out the season. 5 races remain, this one being the first, and we'll see what happens. I don't really have an objective in mind, really, in terms of championship. I think the main thing is to maintain P5 in the constructors and keep Aston Martin and Alpine at bay, which should be manageable considering the points gap we have. So really we have to try and aim upwards, but I think even that might be a little bit tricky. Anyway, we'll give it our best, have a good race, have a bit of fun, keep our point streak going, just try and do the best we can. Starting P9 in my target, I'd love to get a top 6, that would be pretty awesome, but our race pace usually hasn't been as strong as our 1 lap pace, but I could be wrong. This track, I do recall historically being quite good for me on the game, so let's get to it. So strategy for this one is going to be starting on mediums and then onto hards. A simple one stop, no soft tyres, as they seem to be a bit too marginal on tyre wear. And then fuel wise, I'm running 0.3 of a lap extra. That should get the job done for us in terms of making it to the end. So yeah, let's get to work and let's send it. So it looks like we have a bit of a mix. Ricciardo, Leclerc on softs. Myself, Sainz, Alonso on mediums. We'll see also what other cars in the top 10 are running, but it seems fairly spread out. Engine wear is going to be a factor as well, I think, towards the end of this race, but luckily this isn't a massive power circuit, which is hence why I haven't changed it. It's mostly just the IC that's in trouble, so the rest of the engine's fine. Anyway, let's try and get a good start. Let's try and get into him. Let's see if we can hopefully gain some places and have a fun race. Line her up. Perfect. Here we go then. Dutch Grand Prix. Lights are on. And they're out and away we go. Good start. Better start than Sainz. Leclerc flies off the line on those softs. We're going to go all the way around the outside of Piastri here.
Okay, we're monitoring some wear on the internal combustion engine. Be aware that we're going to start to see a loss of power.
Around the outside of Leclerc now, but realistically he's on softs. I don't really want to fight him, so I won't use battery. I'll let him just do his thing. No point in fighting a soft tyre runner. They're going to be way too quick at this initial phase. Red Bull 1-2 out front. They're already starting to break away. One of them is anyway. We'll see. It's the same suspects as always. It's every single race. 2 McLarens, 2 Mercedes, 2 Ferraris, and then it's myself and Alonso. And then, of course, the 2 Red Bulls, which goes without saying. Let's see if we can hold it down, though, and try and fight against these medium tyre runners. And also, crucially, stay within DRS. That's going to be the main thing. If I can pull that off, that might massively help our race pace. Oh, Norris with the lock up. Leclerc offline. He'll probably overtake me easily, but I'm just trying to keep things relatively efficient. So Norris on medium. Both Mercedes have also split their tyres. So Hamilton softs, Russell in front of him on mediums. So let's try and stick with the game plan here. Let's probably let Leclerc go on the pit straight realistically on softs, but try and also try to get Lando. I'm using battery, but Leclerc is getting the run, so we'll let him go. I was going to let him...
DRS will be enabled this lap. You can use it when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
I was going to let him have the racing line there, but he wanted to commit to the inside, so fair play. Sainz is closing, even with DRS. Our straight line speed is very low. We're going to go around the outside and hold on though for now. But this might cost us DRS on Leclerc.
Okay, clear.
Yellow flag. That's behind. Looks like a Haas. We'll see if maybe that triggers a safety car or something. He's not far off the racing line. Magnussen out the race. Looks like no safety car though. So we'll continue on our way. Well, I managed to get back in DRS, but I've used all my battery, so I think we're on the back foot here. Sainz will likely get the run. I'm going to defend the inside and show him high. Been a little bit hot there. Sainz with a cut back. Leclerc through on Norris. Let's try and get onto Lando here, but I don't think we're going to have the pace. So we're going to have to wave a white flag. Don't really have anything there to defend with, so Sainz will breeze on by, and we're going to have to maybe even let Piastri go here, who's got a run. Up the inside goes Oscar, leaving space. Going to go around the outside though and hold on for now. Let's try and stick with Sainz here. Sainz is pulling away here. Piastri closing. Defending the inside. Yeah, we really don't have much pace today. Also, my fuel is a bit of a concern. Running a bit low now. So again, white flag. I'm going to have to wave it versus Piastri here. Just don't have anything to fight with. So no DRS means we're pretty much defenseless. Alonso through on Ricciardo, or battling with Ricciardo, but we could well drop towards them at this rate. I can't keep up. Car that overtakes, car that pulls away. I'm just unable to save battery. If I save, I get dropped straight away. I need to use the battery to keep up, but obviously there's no recharge here because the winds are so high. We've just been dropped. Well, that's going to be tough to defend now. Alonso will go by. Tough race. Tough race. I think if we finish P10, we've done pretty well to be fair and get a point. Okay, I've been dropped from DRS. Also, my battery went offline there for a bit. It's now back online. So that
okay, no issues with tyre wear for now.
was the key element. Also, key moment in the race. They're losing battery, which when I wanted to use it, I lost DRS. Yellow flag up ahead. This one's in front. Who is it? I think it's Norris again. Oh my god, it's Norris again. That McLaren is unreliable. Right, well, this is going to give us P9. Will there be a safety car? Looks like again there's not going to be a safety car. Seems like we don't get one unless there's two cars retiring at once. So I've just lost DRS on Alonso, who's yanked onto Piastri. So Piastri's dragging him along. I was actually keeping up with Alonso quite nicely, to be fair, and saving battery, but the minute he got DRS on Piastri, that was it. So they're going to drive off. Hopefully they battle. We can maybe catch back up. The leaders are in a big pack out front, so maybe if the top 8 just merge into one big fat pack, they can all lose time. Perez in the pit lane. Early stop.
We're approaching the pit window now, and you're going to be on hards next time.
So the soft tyre runners should be in soon. Let's see. Okay, a bunch more cars in. Looks like they're going for mediums. So Lawson pit. If I had a fresh set of softs, I'd actually consider going for softs. I can make it quite easily, but I don't. So we're just going to go for the hards. Also because we're now potentially being undercut by Ricciardo. So I want to be able to cover off and get track position. To be fair, Alonso and Piastri haven't been a lot quicker. They're just relaying with DRS perfectly, so they're swapping around. They're going to go for softs. So we could get an undercut on them right now. So this is going to be key. Pit entry very slow. Fuel is very marginal, by the way. We're going to have to really watch out for that. I did a bit of fuel saving there on pit entry to try and help myself out, but that is going to be really close. Anyway, Onto the hards we go to complete the one stop. It's a slow stop. It's very slow. 5 seconds. That's devastating. That's really bad.
Look after these tyres now. You want to finish the race on this compound.
Look at all this traffic. We are right in the thick of it and out the points now. Just ahead of Ricciardo. Joe was just behind Ricciardo, so Joe is now net P10, I believe. But I'm not sure where these other cars, if or haven't pit. So yeah, this really isn't ideal. We'll try and save battery if we can in this phase for the next stint. I'm not able to save battery just yet. Ricciardo's forcing me to drain the batteries. Here he goes again, down the inside. He had a slight look at me on the back straight, but didn't really commit, but this time he's gone for it. And that medium is going to be a faster tyre, so we're going to have to defend here as much as we can. Around the outside we go. This is now going to cost us DRS on Joe, most likely. Just on the back foot constantly, although Ricciardo has had a poor exit, which is going to give us a bit of respite. Joe going through on Stroll and gets it done easy. Let's try and stick with Joe. He's net P10 right now, or net P9, with Lando's retirement, I believe. Stroll DRS on Joe, which is going to make it very hard for me to pass, unless he were to pit, which he does not do. I don't know if these guys have pit or not yet, I really don't know. Stroll will not have DRS on Joe here, so this time we can look for the pass. Ricciardo is going to be dangerous and looking to overtake as well. Here he goes. I've cut off at the inside. Oh, it was very risky, but I took a chance to try and use Stroll as a blockade between me and Ricciardo. Now we can go. I was very much a force my way through. Kept it in track limits, but not clean whatsoever. So clearly, everyone here is pit. Stroll goes back through. We'll not let him take that one, but I think everyone's going to the end of his. This is our actual position. We've been undercut by pretty much everyone, so we're going to have to fight to get back in the points this race. Stroll back for more. This time we had a bit more of a, better exit, a bit more of a gap. Battle up ahead. Let's try and close in if we can. This is crucial. Used all my battery there and I didn't get DRS. I don't know where the line is to the detection point, but we just fell short, so we'll keep trying. I mean, they're battling again here, so we'll hopefully close in now. All 5-car train now. We've actually caught up to 2 cars. One of them is a Red Bull at the front of this train. Not entirely sure why, maybe there's an issue, but I have no radio message about it. But that Red Bull's just been overtaken by Bottas, so that's interesting as we dip all in the gravel. So this 5-car train stretches into the points now. This Red Bull's got damage. Something's wrong with Perez. He's wounded right now. We have to be alert. This could give us a point if we can play this right. He has some pit for repairs, which is interesting. But let's see. Perez is going to cause chaos with that damage. Everyone's going to go so slow. Gonna have to drain the tank here to stay competitive on the straight. Look at this. It's all kicking off right now. The mud places for us to gain. Try to have a little look around the outside of Joe there at 1, but no way through. Perez still fighting with Ocon. Now this is going to open up opportunities. Just slinging it around the outside of the banker, and we go straight through. Lovely double move there. Exactly what we need to be doing. You can see Perez there struggling in the corners. Up the inside, no prisoners taken, straight through. And now we can sit hopefully with Ocon here and try and get near a point if possible. Pace is pretty good right now. Also we have a tyre advantage, as we'll have better tyres at the end. So my focus is to try and save fuel and ERS for a couple laps, then we'll try and go on a chase after Bottas. When we pass Ocon we have to leapfrog Bottas. I think Ricciardo in front is a bit too far away now, so the best we can hope for is maybe Valtteri, but let's try and get Ocon first and get back in the points first and foremost. I'm going to try and pass Ocon now. I think I've got some pace here. I can try to catch Bottas, but also catching Ricciardo. Let's use what we've got and try to clear Ocon here. You can see we're struggling massively on the straight.
Okay, be careful. We think you're going to start losing some tyre grip anytime now.
Right, let's get Bottas and see if we can try and close in here. Okay, Esteban, your turn, mate. Off you go. Let's try and leapfrog onto Bottas here. We're not catching right now. We're not fast enough. Bottas is holding on pretty well, to be fair. Ricciardo as well. I think with the best we can hope for is just to beat Ocon, really. That's the reality. I'm not charging enough battery to really make a move here. Oh. Lock up. Big mistake. I don't think I'm going to drop Ocon here, which isn't ideal. He'll be in full power next lap, which is going to put me on the back foot. I'll try and push away now, though. Ocon made a little mistake just through the last couple of corners, I think. So we've got the gap we need now. We've got a second in our pocket. Let's bring this one home. So Verstappen wins. To be fair, to my surprise, Tsunoda's PA, not Ricciardo. Of course, I got it all wrong. Ricciardo was there with us when we pit. Either way, a better pit stop, and we probably finished 8th today, but the reality was the pace just wasn't there, but we still get a point.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
Many doubted whether they could pull off the win here in Zandvoort, but they've done so in spectacular style. Natalie Pinkham, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
Well, what a race. At the end of the day, it is all about raw pace, and our winner had it in spades today.
The drivers are en route to the podium as we speak. What a fantastic win for the Red Bull team. They performed exceptionally today, keeping us firmly on the edge of our seats throughout the entirety of the race. Congratulations to everybody at the team.
There we go then. Results in at Zandvoort. Verstappen wins on home turf ahead of Leclerc and Hamilton. Sainz, Russell, Alonso, Piastri, Tsunoda, Bottas finish up the top 10 as we finish 10th and last of the point scorers. So yeah, again, just trying to keep them points rolling, but annoyed we didn't get P8 today. That was the objective. Lawson last on track. Again, it's going to be the case for the rest of the season pretty much. Standings, Drivers' Championship, P6 for us, and Norris 13 points behind, Russell 19 points behind, then Piastri a bit more, 32, so let's see, manageable. Constructors though, P5, Aston Martin now 50 points behind. They're gradually chipping away and getting closer, but 50 points is still a hell of a lot. If we just keep scoring points, we should be okay, but you never know, it could go down to the wire. Anyway guys, like the video, subscribe if you enjoyed it. It really does help me a lot. It means a lot to me if you could do so. Let's try and smash over 1,000 likes if you're new to the channel. Subscribe, like I said, and yeah, as always, a big shout out to the members for supporting the content and the channel. As always, check out the 2 videos on screen if you haven't seen them. And yeah, we go again in the next one in Monza. Until then, take care, and let's goodbye from me.